So right here in front, I've got 3 mods, and one of them came with the truck, and it was an option. It was already on the truck and I got it, but this is the illuminated Toyota emblem, and I didn't think I would like it in the beginning, but I got a lot of positive comments from friends and stuff like that. They really like that. So that was one of the mods. Okay, the next mod is I've put decals on this truck. Okay, and the decals are taco truck, and I know that's kind of cheesy, but I kind of liked it. And I've got them in 3 different places, and as we go along the truck I'll point them out to you. And then another thing that I've got here is I've done a license plate cover just for the channel where I can cover up my license plates, but these are all magnetic, and the way I did it I thought was kind of unique. But they're magnetic, they slap right on. This is all dye-sublimated aluminum right here, so it comes out beautiful. So, okay, this is the decal on the hood scoop. Again, this is a 2025 Tacoma Sport with the premium package. So there's the decal that I put on the hood scoop, and there's a matching one on the other side also. Okay, there are Predator steps which came with the truck, and that's one of those things. I've got a wife and her mother and all that stuff that get in and out of this truck from time to time, and I needed that for them to get in and out of the truck. My rough country bed cover, and I really like that. That worked out really nice. Now I'll talk a little bit about that a little bit more when I go actually into the bed. On the outside of the truck, and I'm going to pull back here, and it's a little bit dirty right now, but this thing, I ceramic coated it about 4 months ago, and it's due not necessarily to get another ceramic coat, but actually to get a freshening up of it. And I'm going to probably do a video on how I go about freshening it up. When I did this, I used Adams, their graphene ceramic coating, and I'm very happy with what's happened with this so far. Everything just beads up on this. The one thing I noticed is it collects dust real easy, and you almost need to use a feather duster to knock all the dust off of it to make it look good. And I ordered this and put it on, but I've got the black exhaust tip from Toyota, and that was like $100 piece or something like that. But it looked much better than that big old galvanized steel piece hanging out the back. And I know a lot of you off-roaders would sit there and say, get rid of it. But this is a Chicago truck. The only off-roading you're going to see on this thing is probably, there's not a lot around here. Unless I decide to sit there and, go rock crawling over my neighbor's landscape rocks, or running off to the local skateboard park and running all over that. That's about the most off-roading I'm going to be able to do. Another thing I did is I put mud flaps on the truck, and the mud flaps really work really well. I actually drove over some stuff and got stuff on the side of it, and I decided to put mud flaps on it. There's the tailgate with the decals that I put on the back, and also the rear license plate cover. I did all these by myself. I've got a vinyl cutter that I was able to use. If you got access to a Cricut or something like that, you could do all this lettering yourself too. Another thing that I've done is the bed step. Okay, Bed step is one of the greatest things I did with this. It makes getting in and out of the bed of the truck much easier. Again, this is an everyday Tacoma. I do stuff with it every day. I don't necessarily haul everything all the time, but when I do it, I want to be able to get in and out of the tailgate. So let's talk about some of the stuff that's going on in the back of the truck. Back here, I actually got a bed liner, and I decided, heck, I don't need an expensive one, so I ended up getting one from Amazon. I think this was somewhere around $60 or $70, and it totally does the job. I was very happy with that. Okay, so let's go up in the bed, and now you get a chance to see how the bed step works. Super easy, by the way. Okay. Let me step back down. I'm going to bring you guys up here with me. This is the trifold bed cover that I have. It goes on. It's got a couple of rails that mount underneath and clamp onto the Toyota bed rail. Okay, this is being a bed rail. It has, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's got a drain tube here, and there's a little hole in this here, so when water gets in here, it helps it drain out. One of the things that I noticed with this is my truck sits at a slight angle in the driveway, and let me go back here. I modified this a little bit. I took and put another drain back here in the very back and ran it into the wheel well back here, and now when the water runs to the back, it drains out. One of my concerns is that in the wintertime, that water get in there and freezes, it's going to lock all that stuff up and tear up some of the weather stripping and that on it. So I don't want that to happen. So that's why I put that modification in there. So here we are. I've set up a barrier net across the back of it. Reasonably inexpensive device to have, but it's basically in a taco configuration. In other words, I can open it up and put things inside here if I wanted to. It goes between the D-rings, and there's little spots here in the rails where you can actually clip it in. But it's handy for, and excuse me for walking in front of the camera here, but say you want to carry something and you want to keep it from going all over the bed, you put this thing across there, put this back here. It could be groceries, it could be anything like that, and then you close the tailgate, and it's just that simple. Now it's totally held in place. Okay, the next thing that we can talk about is the cargo net. This is the cargo net, and the cargo net is already attached to the two rings in the front, but it stretches across the back of the truck, and it's real handy. Get my prop boxes back here. Put 1, 2 in place. Connect them. Connect them. Connect the carabiners to the D-rings here in the back. And I don't have enough boxes, but you get the idea. It'll keep your boxes in when you got the bed cover open. I've had these stacked up to here and been able to drive around with it. Big things that go over the top of the plane of the bed itself. It's a handy piece of kit to have. So that's the cargo net. Okay, now I want to talk about one more thing here, and This is going to probably become a video here in the future. One of the issues when you do bed covers like this is there's a small problem. If you look here, you will see how this is a nice tight fit all the way down to about right here, and then it starts to separate. And you can see I can put my thumb in there. What's happened is there's a bolt going through right here that goes down and pulls down on this to hold it in place. When it does that, it causes this thing to tilt and pull up. There's a solution to this, and I'm going to go through and actually do that modification here in the future. So stay tuned for that one. Lots of people are affected by this. So that brings us to a couple more modifications, and I shouldn't call them modifications, but I think they're essential if you're going to have an everyday Tacoma. This is what I call the 90% tool roll. The 90% tool roll takes care of 90% of the things that I have to do with this truck. And actually, mine is a little bit different because you typically just put the essentials that you need in this. But I actually stuck more stuff in mine because I end up being the guy that's kind of tagged to fix everybody else's truck too. So I use a tool roll, and that's got pliers and sockets and stuff like that in it, and I actually go over this in another video. I've also got electrical components like fuses and relays stuffed away in here in case I need them. Now it's a 90%, oh, and by the way, this little thing here, if you're wondering, is all my 1/4 inch drives. The reason it's called 90% is it does 90%. Where's the other 10%? Well, I don't have it here with me right now, but I've got a large bag that if I'm going on vacation or something like that, it's my 10% bag. It's stuff that I put in there. There's stuff in there that I think I need. There's extra oil and brake fluid and stuff like that. There's an extra serpentine belt, because if a serpentine belt breaks on you, and that can happen with any vehicle, you're up a creek. So that's something I want to have. It's got WD-40 in there, and all kinds of stuff like that. There's jumper cables, etc., etc., etc. All that stuff is essential when you're away from home, either on the trail, on the road, or wherever. This here is my hauling kit. I've got 4 sets of ratchet straps in here. I have 4 sets of tension straps, and they both have their unique application. I've got some bungee cords. There's a rag in here, and if I'm hauling something and it's hanging over the end, I can put that rag out there, and it kind of conforms with the rules and stuff like that. One other thing that I do, and let me do this for a second. I've got these 2 little items right here, which are really handy, and this is all of that is in my hauling video. But I'm going to bring this up. Okay, right now this is just about even with the 2 spots in the back of the truck where you put a 2x8 across there, and you can support something flat like plywood, 4x8 sheets of plywood or something like that. This here is a little hack that I came up with, and what I do, and let me bring it up a little bit more. I put this through there. It supports it at the right height, and it's super simple. I keep it with me. If I pick up a piece of plywood, I end up using this. I actually have a clamp in here too, where I can clamp the plywood together. Super handy. But this is a great little way of, most of your weight's going to be supported on those 2x8s. Okay, that go across there. This here doesn't hold that much. I've also got a towel in the back that I put across the tailgate to help not mar up the tailgate itself when I'm hauling something like that. And I've had to do that here recently, where I've had to buy a bunch of plywood actually. So that's another modification that I did, or hack, let's call it in this case. A lot of times tailgates get stolen. The other side, on this side, there's a receiver where you can actually pull this round part of the tailgate out of it, and as long as you got these two straps removed, you can pull this whole tailgate off and rip all your wiring out at the same time. So people pull up behind your truck, get access to your tailgate somehow. With the automatic tailgates, they automatically lock, which kind of helps, but and with the bed cover, they'd have to defeat the bed cover too, but it's a problem. A lot of people get their tailgates stolen. That's $1,500, $3,000 for a tailgate. With that, what I did is I put a hose clamp around this. Now there is a video on this, and there's a certain way I put it in there that actually made more sense. But go out there, watch the video, and if you don't want your tailgate stolen, do this. So we've gone over a lot of the mods that I've done to the exterior of the truck. Super simple mods to do. It does not take a lot of work to do it. Some of them are very cheap. Okay, it's stuff that made the truck more functional, I think. Here at Everyday Tacoma, I try to address simple DIYs that make it better. I'm trying to address things like dealer lot walkthroughs for the new buyer, or even existing somebody that's already got a Tacoma and looking to buy another one. So I'll do the lot walkthroughs and take a look at what's in each truck on that lot. I sit there and I'm doing some stuff on Tacoma lifestyles, where I did a video on photographing your Tacoma and make your Tacoma look good. Okay, I'm guilty. I have more pictures of my Tacoma than I do my kids, I think. To support this channel, I sell what they call sublimation aluminum prints. It's photographic quality, gallery quality photographs on aluminum, and very, very high quality stuff. And I put them on what they call shadow frames and that. And I'm going to do a video here in the future on how I actually go about doing that. And that should be interesting to a lot of people. So especially if you got into doing the how do you photograph your Tacoma. And that doesn't just apply to Tacomas. You could do wedding pictures, vacation pictures, just about anything that you have a photograph of that you can put on this aluminum, and it looks absolutely awesome. It's glossy, it's deep, it's everything that you would want. So stay tuned to this channel. So like, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. But especially subscribe, because when you subscribe, you get notified on what's coming out that's new. You know, there's no commitment as far as the subscription part goes. It's just going to give you a notification of what's coming out. So if any of these videos or any of the future videos I got planned are of interest to you guys, let me know. I plan on redoing a couple more videos that I did in the past. I'm going to make them simpler. I did some, I'm going to call it techie stuff, where I actually use Siri and I tell my phone, start me up Buttercup, and the truck starts up by itself. So that's something I'm going to simplify and make it easier for people to understand. Stay tuned. Okay, and I appreciate you guys supporting the channel, and until next time, be safe out there.